What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Money Moves with Kay. I am Kay, and today I want to ask you a question about 143 acres. Would you buy 143 acres for under $500? And if you're like me, that answer depends. It depends on a lot of different things, so we'll get right into the video. So what I did was I found 143 acres. I'll just say that it's in South Carolina because I don't want to tell you where specifically because I might be auctioning at these particular auctions as well. So yeah, I'll give you the state though, South Carolina. This is in South Carolina. Now what we're looking at is an actual newspaper article that's online. A lot of people don't get newspapers any longer. I know that. However, it is online where you can see all the listings. Now this list is immense. It goes on and on and on. There are thousands of names on here and thousands of homes and land on here. But I also want to say this here because I think a lot of times folks think that it's not anything else outside of land or homes on here, and that's not true. The very first listing, I won't show you because it's actually an LLC. The very first listing is a storage unit, right? And you can see it says the buildings is 4. So there's storage units. I've seen car washes on here. I've seen pretty much commercial property on these lists as well. So it's not just residential. It's not just land. There are commercial properties on here as well, but you have to know what you're looking for in order to proceed and possibly get a deal. So let's look at this. I want to scroll down a little bit. And first of all, let me show you right here. It says acres. So you have the acres, right? I'm looking for land specifically. If you're looking for something else, then you may not want the acreage. You may actually want the building. So this may be something that you're looking for, right? It has 2 buildings on this parcel of land. However, I'm looking for some land. So I scrolled all the way down, right? And boom, still under the acre column. And it's 143 acres. Now on the GIS, on the tax assessor's website, it does classify this as having 157 acres, which is a lot of land. It's raw land, and I'll show you in just a second what that looks like as far as from bird's eye view what the actual parcel looks like. However, I did want to show you that it's not just some measly parcels of land on these lists. That's immense. That not immense, but that's a lot of land pretty much, right? 143 acres is crazy to me. Now, I do want to mention where I get all my articles from, my newspaper articles from this website. So this website is in my course, and I've only given it to my course members. I promise that I would not give it to anybody else as far as like you would have to pay for this information. However, this is every single state, and I've gone over this before. It's every single state in the United States of America, in every county in that state. And it outlines things such as, let me give an example. Things that are related to real estate, delinquent taxes, foreclosures, lien sales, probate, sale of property, and the list goes seizures, unclaimed property. That's typically from the state, but it goes over a lot of different information that you can use in order to see these listings and also be prepared, right? You can do your due diligence before you even get to the auction, whether it's online or whether it's in person. You'll be better prepared, and it has a lot of information. And if you're a true investor, you already know how you can use a lot of this information, especially pre-foreclosures. You can get to them before the bank, gets rid of the property, or the home is foreclosed on, I should say. However, yeah, so make sure you grab the course. I'll put the link in the description and pin it in the comments. If you are interested in the course, it's a tax auction course for beginners. Back to this though. So this property is 143 acres, right? And what I want to do is I want to show you from bird's eye view, and I'll blur out the parcel ID because again, I might be interested in this property. But you see, and it's a pretty big, let me kind of scroll up just a little bit. It's a pretty big parcel of land, 143 acres. Now you have to ask yourself, which I've asked myself already, is it raw land? Yeah, it is raw land. It doesn't look or appear to be improved. Now there are ways I can go about finding out if this property was improved in any way, whether it was cleared or whatever the case may be. But from my research thus far, it doesn't appear to be improved at all. But you also want to know if there's access to utilities for this amount of land, depending on what you want to do for it. A lot of folks just buy land to just hunt, right? It's not all about buying land to build properties or whatever. A lot of people, I noticed this is like a trend here now, especially with affordability being an issue. A lot of folks just want to do like a compound where they have, their family stay on a huge parcel of land. You have your acre over there, you have your acre over there. And the list goes on about staying in the same area, but still having your privacy and space and land, which will be super cool. I may do a video on family compounds. Let me know if you want to know more information on how you can do that, how you could buy a large parcel of land and really, really utilize it to your family's benefit. Some families might not be able to do that though. It might be an issue. All right. So this is the parcel of land. So what I did was I asked myself a couple of questions. Again, going back to that, what's the zoning? And the most important question I believe to ask is, will this person, because again, this particular tax auction will happen on September 10th, okay? This is an in-person tax auction, which creates a bit of friction for people. A lot of times, the easy button is to just go online and find these properties, buy them, and be done with it. But actually putting on your clothes, going in person, registering first, right, before you even go, all that stuff accumulates to be a lot of work and effort. So a lot of times you can find the best deals simply by going in person. Because why? Most people won't want to do it. They want it on a Saturday or a Friday or a Thursday. First of all, they may be at work. Secondly, they don't want to do all of that work, find parking, all of that is too much for them, but not for me, because that's where you have to find the deals, okay? Going in person is not a big deal, especially if it's drivable for me. Not a big deal for me. So here we go. And right here, this is what I looked at. When I looked at the GIS and got this information. By the way, in the course, I've run down step-by-step how to look at the GIS and the public assessor's website. But this is what I saw. I saw scheduled for tax sale, but this was in 2018, 2019. This person paid by money order 2019-20. So that year, they were on time with their taxes, it appears, for 2020, 2021. But then here in 2022 and 2023, or that year, scheduled for tax sale, and now they're back at it with being scheduled for a tax sale, and they owe $463.16. So for me, when I look at this information, I see an owner, I see her name, it's a lady, I see an owner that doesn't need help. She may not need help. I honestly think she's going to redeem. Why do I say that? I think she's going to get her property back and just pay the taxes. I just think that she knows the system by now. She's had it for a couple of years. So she knows, like, I have time to pay it. Even when the tax auction happens, this is a redeemable deed state. So she knows the system because she's already been scheduled for a tax auction twice before. So my prediction, my gut says that she is going to actually pay that $463.16. In fact, most people do redeem even before the tax auction. About 70 to 90% of folks actually do go ahead and pay the money so that property doesn't end up at tax auction. But you can see her track record of it going to tax auction, or it's being scheduled for the sale. It's scheduled for the sale. But it seems as though she's going to pay it. She could have forgot. From what I'm looking at, she does not live in the same city or town as the land. So those are all indicators to me that she just could have forgot, and it's just around that time. She has the $400, but just forgot, which happens a lot. So for me as an investor, I would not even pursue this property. Why? Because there's a 70 to 90% chance that this owner, based off of her track record, will redeem the property or just pay the taxes is what I'm referring to when I say redeem it. She more than likely is going to pay for the taxes. So what I would do on my list of thousands and thousands of names, I would strike her name out, and then beside that, I would put a little blurb or some words to say why I'm not pursuing this property for myself in the future. Because if I look at it again and say, why did I pass up this property? I have a little note to myself to tell me why I passed up on the property. Plus, in the course, I have a really nice spreadsheet. I didn't have it up here now. There's a spreadsheet to keep you organized as you go through these properties, so you can have a nice little note for yourself. And yeah, it's pretty it's pretty good to keep you organized. Okay, so I do provide that in the course as well. A great, nice Excel organizer for you. All right. So would I pursue this property? No. But that, I didn't even look at the zoning, flood zone. I didn't look at any of the other information. I'm just looking at her track record and I say, she's probably going to redeem the property and it'll be a waste of my time to pursue it. Now, if, not next year, but if this property sold, I might, be a little upset, but I honestly don't believe it will. I think she's just going to pay for it. Okay. So if you made it this far in the video, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. In the comment section, please, please, please go ahead and write tax auction. It allows me to know you made it this far in the video, and I truly do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Until next time, guys, you stay blessed. Peace.